Okay, that's a lot to unpack when it comes to artificial intelligence right off the bat here, and globally in China as well. Now, to do all that, I'm joined by Scott Schober. Scott is the president and CEO of Berkeley Varitronics Systems. It's a company that designs cybersecurity systems and its products. Welcome back to the show. We appreciate you taking time to chat with us.
Yeah, great to be back with you.
Let's talk about today's keynote, Microsoft Build. It was all about Copilot and how AI is helping developers streamline their work. Now, what's your take on the announcement today? There's so much competition out there and everyone's trying to get a leg up at this point.
Yeah, good point. And you're right. There's a lot of tech giants that are putting a lot of money and a lot of investment out there, especially in the realm of AI. And Microsoft is no different, and they're doing a great job with it. I mean, look at the size of Microsoft, first of all, $3.2 trillion market cap. And really their secret sauce is tying it in with their Azure cloud. Their cloud business is booming. It's probably about $300 billion a year they're generating. So they're closely tying that and matching that in with their AI initiatives, and in this particular case with Team Copilot. And that's what's really important. So it's bringing together different applications, again, all hosted up on the cloud. And the reason for that is the cloud right now is really the dominant force that can allow the processing to do all these amazing AI things. And especially as it ties in with, we hear the advances of ChatGPT 4.0. Again, Microsoft's got almost 50% ownership in that and a stake in that. So they're very closely aligned with those initiatives, which is going to allow them to really remain to be a leader over the likes of a Facebook, Meta, or Apple, or Google, or other companies.
Yeah, and while this huge meeting is going on halfway across the world leaders, industry experts taking part in AI virtually in Seoul, Korea, your takeaway from that summit in relation to ongoing safety concerns. And I bring this up because I think it was just last week we had someone from the industry on, and one of the first questions I asked was on safety moving forward, and before I could even finish, safety is our primary concern. Where, you have to wonder, is it profit your primary concern? So how do companies balance this, especially with the push that they're going to get from virtually everyone outside?
Yeah, you make a brilliant point. Profits on all these companies' minds, and the speed and the pace of technology advancement, unfortunately, makes it very challenging for them to properly vet out and get all the vulnerabilities out, because they have to be thinking one step ahead, thinking like a cyber criminal. Because think about this, cyber criminals are going to be exploiting AI just like we are appreciating the value that it brings to us. So it's finding that fine balance. They really need to have focused teams to be looking at those vulnerabilities and be able to shore them up before cyber criminals take advantage of that.
Good stuff, Scott. And also, another thing we talked about, China's AI in a box model. Walk us through the pros and the cons of this model in terms of cost as well as accessibility.
Yeah, and it's interesting. China has a little bit slightly different take on it, especially with Huawei and some other companies there. They're really looking at it with on-premise equipment there, the cloud locally. And again, it's opposite of what Microsoft is doing, because right now the desktop computers and stuff, they don't necessarily have the processing gain to be able to handle it where they can handle it in the cloud. So it's kind of a business initiative based upon what they have really their expertise at. In the long run, I think it's going to be tough what Huawei and other companies are doing in China. There's going to be a dominant leader in the end that's going to take it, but only time will tell over the next year or so which direction that's going to be, on-premise or in the cloud, as far as AI and all this build-out.
Interesting. So expand on that just a bit. And do you foresee China's AI in a box offerings perhaps having a significant impact on how we do AI globally?
Yeah, it may affect how we do it. Right now, U.S. is still the dominant leader, but if you look closely at China, especially the Chinese government, they've invested heavily in working closely with the universities there, and they're right behind the United States. It's almost neck and neck, but slight advantage that the U.S. right now has, again, because of all the big tech companies and just the sheer amount of money they've invested in it. But man, it's a close race, and China is right there on the back of the U.S. coming up close.
You talk about the money and the government backing and saying the U.S. is the dominant leader, but clearly China's tech advancements when it comes to AI, they are getting up there despite the U.S. CHIPS Act.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, even if you look at the Biden administration, they've taken note of that, and now they're trying to support and heavily fund some of these large AI initiatives with universities behind it, following the pattern that what a lot of the things that are successful in China. So it is a like I said, a neck and neck race. They all want to be the dominant leader. In fact, China's already got a roadmap how they will become the dominant leader in AI in the not too distant future. So it'll be interesting in years to come.